Okie doke. Part 2. Some perplexity action. We want to be quizzed on everything through default arguments. Please test my knowledge on all things C++ from these chapters / lessons on learncpp.com. I only know stuff from, or am only knowledgeable of stuff from here. Boom. Okay. These are all, holy shit. Wait, is it, wow, already uploaded? Oh shit. Cool. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and publish. Oh, we recording? Oh, we are. Nice. Okay. Forgot. Publish. Cool. Both published. Cool. Nice. Cool. That's it? Oh, motherfucker. Okay, I mean, I'll do this, and then after, I want to have to write code. Like, before when I was at the house I'm watching dogs for, I tested myself once using, what was it? One of the times I said, make me write code for each of these, or give me examples of like programs that I would have to write to test myself on these topics. But the cases they want me to write shit for are just stupid. It's like being asked a question that just doesn't make sense in a job interview. Like, would you, like, 2 impossible cases, what are you doing, or something, like, bro, or just something that's just not ever realistic at all. Like, oh, this is a human resources position, and you're doing some sort of website shit. What are you gonna do when a guy busts in with a gun? What? Why are you asking me this? I mean, I'm gonna eat his heart, but I mean, what is the purpose of asking me that here? I don't understand that. Isn't this? Okay, it is draft. I don't know why it didn't say draft, or maybe I'm just blind. Probably that. Can we? Okay, good. All right. So, I will answer these. But I want like a balance. I want to have to explain what the things are. And I already have hours using each thing just from how I'm studying by using them. My headset goes through this process, or this, I guess my headset, I don't know. Like, I could put in a static canceller thing, some sort of like insulation thing that absorbs the static for my headset, so that whenever any static shit happens, it goes into that and gets absorbed before it gets filtered out. But the problem is it fucks up my headset's volume and decreases it too much. So I can't do that. And sometimes my headset will just go like, and it's always the same pattern. It's always the same thing. I don't know what triggers it. It's just random, I think. And then I have to take it off because it hurts. So I think good now. I want to have to explain myself and say what the things mean so that I can understand them better and I can be corrected. I mean, I still know all the little things about bitwise stuff now, which is nice, all because I got corrected. Same thing for inline and unnamed namespaces. But when it asks me to write programs to do something, and it's stupid. I mean, I guess I could have it, and they're harder to submit too, because I like making them and I like compartmentalizing them so that I can use header files. I don't want to have it all be in the same fucking main file. But then I have to fucking type out, hey, this is what's in main. Hey, this is what's in the fucking header file. Hey, this is what's in the implementation. So annoying. All right, let's just get going. All right, don't need any of that. Hour and a half of self-test begins. The farthest this goes, what in the fuck? Is, say, here. Ah, so annoying. Okay, I don't like that it has to be multiple choice, but whatever, it's fine. Oh, who is this? Is this, that's her? Oh, shit. Dang. Alright. She fixed my disliking of tooth gaps. Damn. Okie doke. Just gotta find the right one and you're good to go. Alright, put her there. It's close enough. Cool, cool. Alright, cool. So, one, I don't like that this is extending over to the other side of the monitor. That's better. Cool. Alright, nice. Okay, the output of this code. Main is saying, okay, x is 5, y is 6. We're outputting x plus y, so 5 plus 6. And then we are ending the line. And we have IO stream, so we can do standard character output. Cool. Yo. In this case, it's 11. You'd have to do x and then a separate, you'd have to have another insertion operator, and then in quotes plus, and then another insertion operator, and then y to do, well, and even, and no insertion, or a no plus. You'd have to do x, well, could you even do x, what would have, xy would be just multiplying, right? Okay, yeah. I mean, it's just a fucking evaluating y x plus y. Cool. All right. A, because we're outputting the result of x 5 plus y 6. Then ending the line and flushing the buffer unnecessarily. Please tell me when, or when would I, well, yeah. I'm gonna make assumptions like this and then it'll tell me when I'm wrong. That's fine. A valid variable name is only, I think, oh, yeah, it's C. I was gonna say, I was looking at D for a second, and then there's a fucking minus operator in there. C. Because A is a data type keyword. B begins with a number, and D has the has operator minus in it. And would give a funky compiler error since you're subtracting an undefined value variable from, or value identifier from the double data type keyword. Excuse me, what would that look like? What the fuck would happen there? Yeah, what is it looking? Yeah, it's just invalid syntax. It's thinking that you're just defining something wrong. Since you're there, since you're defining a double with operator minus in the identifier. 3 x, oh, compiler error. well, it's it's undefined behavior, so it's probably B. I have treat warnings as errors enabled, so I technically get a compiler error. But if I didn't, it would probably just be a warning. And I'm gonna stop saying default initialized because it's not actually initialized. It's just a garbage value. Using a variable for the garbage value. That has a garbage value. 4. Header guards prevent including the header definitions multiple times in the same .cpp file. Which would yield a redefinition error. Okay. Declarations. Are when we notify the compiler about an object variable function without initializing the object or defining the function. Definitions are declarations that include because we can define variable x. So for variables, definition and declaration, similar. If I define it, it's declaring it. Yeah. Definitions are declarations. Trying to split this because I could have a variable somewhere else that's constant, and then I could make it extern, and then I can, and that's, I could have a variable. I could have int x and make it extern, and then that's a for declaration. So it's a declaration, so it's telling the compiler that the variable is valid, and then I define it elsewhere, and the definition is where the linker syncs it. The definition declarations tell the compiler that calls are valid. Definitions are where the linker gets the object variable functions value / content from. Without a function definition, you get a linker error because there's no content in the function to be executed. It hasn't, well, yeah. Okay. If we declare a variable, it's probably defined. Like if I do a for declaration of an int x, well, I'm not going to for declare int x, but well, I can, because if it's defined elsewhere, then yeah, I do need to for declare it here. If we declare a variable, we're either defining it at the same time, or we're for declaring it so the compiler is happy and the linker goes to find the definition elsewhere. Like during initialization. I think so. I think that works. Okay. Please be critical of my answers. I don't like this method of, I don't like this style. Okay. We have in main, we are calling print hello, which has to be a void function with no arguments because of our call. Indeed. I guess not necessarily, because we could have just discarded the return value, so it could be any other return value actually. Doesn't have to be void. But print hello means probably, unless we have like a success condition or a success return value. Trying to figure out if my headset's thing is falling off. Okay. And all it does is it outputs hello. Oh, and it does not end the line. Okay, what's the output? Yeah, it's just hello. Yeah, there's no quotes because hello is not a variable. If it's a variable, oh, well, doesn't matter. It's not going to do it in quotes because we're not doing quote slash quote hello slash quote quote. That's how you explicitly quote it, because by default, operator quote makes the shit a string, a C-style string. Yeah, so it prints hello. A. And there's the output, hello. Doesn't end the line after hello. For declarations, prototypes. Okay, prototypes. Are a copy of the function of a function's signature or a variable without an initializer. And I think, would it need to be extern? I'm not sure. Well, yeah, let's try. or int x and if we have thing and then we just have fuck it int x is 3, then we have x here, and then we'll include iostream needs standard character output, and then we'll do x. I think it's gonna have it. Is it not having an issue? No. Yeah, it's because there's a redefinition. It's seeing uninitialized definition of x. Need extern to forward declare. Extern and x. Boom. Now we can get 3. Okay, yep. Or a variable without initializer and extern qualified. Syntax wise. Alright, let's see. In syntax, for declarations are a copy of a function's signature with a semicolon as a statement, or a variable without an initializer, or a variable declaration without an initializer, and extern or an extern qualified variable without variable declaration without an initializer. Okay. They tell the compiler that the function / variable is valid, and its definition exists elsewhere. The linker will find the definition wherever it is and match it with the calls, with its calls. And defined elsewhere. Okay. 8. They prevent, well, they're not required for all variables. Yo. I mean, you have a variable inside of inside of a function. There's no namespace going on. Because by default, a variable in a namespace either has external or internal linkage, right? Because if it's a namespace, it's within the global scope technically. So by default, it's extern. It has external linkage. But if you make it const, then it has internal linkage. Or if you put it in an unnamed namespace, it has internal linkage. But a variable within a function has no linkage. Not only is it not usable everywhere within the existing file, it's definitely also not exposed anywhere else. So yeah, okay. Yeah, they prevent naming collisions. Yeah, it's pretty good. They don't slow down compilation. I mean, no. It's just that the shit in them does because it's content. Content slows down compilation. Yeah, sure. It takes up space. It's like changing the color of your shirt. You change the color of your shirt so you don't have a mismatch between, oh, I already have red pants, I can't have a red shirt too. But the red color doesn't add weight to me. It's the shirt that does. So if I painted my body red, nobody gives a fuck. But when I put a shirt on, that's where the weight comes from. They prevent naming collisions. Namespaces let us section out global scope to put identical identifiers without them colliding because they're in separate sections, separate namespace, or in separate scopes. What do we call the scope of a namespace? I mean, it's not global scope because it doesn't conflict with other shit in global scope. I mean, if we include the shit before declaration in stuff, then it can be used. So it's a global variable, but it's within a namespace. So it's like it's a modified version of global scope. A separate section of global scope that requires scope resolution to conflict. Or to use. Something like that. A semantic error? Missing semicolon? No, it's a syntax error. That's going to give you a compilation error. A is syntax yields compile. Oh, is a syntax error because it yields a compiler error. B. Oh. No compiler error. Probably a warning. Semantic because user is is mistaking assignment for equivalency. See? Misspelled variable name. Syntax error yields compiler error because we'll get yields undefined compiler errors. Something like that because we're using undefined objects. Misspelled variable name? I mean... Well, yeah, it's, I mean, syntax error if the variable already exists. Because you'll... well... And if the variable already exists, and you get a compiler error for using an undefined identifier or an undefined identifier. Semantic, if you accidentally use another variable you spelled similarly. Or, well, if you, I'll say that. It's a syntax error if the variable already exists and you get a compiler error for using some shit. So if you're doing standard character output, but it's COT or COTU or something like this, you're going to use undefined shit. It's an issue with the language. Breakpoint. Breakpoints stop execution or pause execution and initiate the debugger once the line with the breakpoint is reached. Or once execution reaches the line with the breakpoint. Of a bool? It's gotta be one, right? In bytes? A makes the most sense. No way would it be. Because it just needs 1 bit. And the minimum variable size is 1 byte. So using more bytes would be a waste. I'm guessing 3, 10, so we're outputting a cast of, cast to a double of, so we're saying, oh, hold on. Oh, so it's gonna be like 3.333. Yeah, it's actually gonna be B. Because I was thinking it was, we're getting 10 divided by 3, and then we're static casting the final result. Well, 10 divided by 3 is already just 3, so static cast would still be 3.0, but standard character output kills trailing zeros. But in this case, we are dividing the double result of the explicit conversion of integer of int x, so 10.0 by 3. That'll give us a double result as the common type. Also ends the line and flushes the buffer unnecessarily. Because so far, I mean, you could just do the regular ass inline, and the shit still yeah, I don't know what the really when you would do one versus the other. Because I mean, in either scenario, the inline character outputs, so we end a line anyways. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, fuck. Accidentally touched the glasses because I've been lotioning my hands up, so there's a little bit of good oil on them. Okay, 13. Both require initialization. Const expression cannot be. Let's see. Both require initialization. Const expression cannot be forward declared. Forward declared. Const qualified variables can be forward declared. To use a const expression variable, it must be known at compile time in the file it's used in. For declared const variables are only known after linking, which is too late. After linking, which is too late. Const expression variables mandate the compiler to, or will increase the chance, or will guarantee additional compile time optimization, while const qualified variables only have a chance at certain optimization. i.e., const expression variables are probably more efficient. Hey, excuse me, Zerby. Hey. Yeah, no. B after doesn't do anything. A because B suffix doesn't do anything. It's an identifier. And what happens if I do that? So if we say include, we'll get IO stream real quick and main. Then we'll say an X is 3. And then we'll output 100X. Yeah, see, we still need... We need 100 times X. You can't just do 100X instantly because it doesn't know... Yeah, it's treating 100 as a literal and X as a suffix. Because B isn't a recognized suffix. The fuck is that? What happens if we did the same thing? And X is 3. And then we output X100. Yeah, and then X100, yeah, we can have names, so it's gonna think that's an object. C uses object bin 1010, and D is hexa. Is hex. String S is hello, and we're outputting s.length. Is that a thing? So we'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because the inline character. So it should be probably 6. D because 5 letters plus 1 inline character that terminates a string. Assuming length is a valid member function for standard strings, then D. I don't know if it has. I've never done .length. 1. 3 fits into 7 2 times with 1 remaining. 1. B. Output 6. B. Prefix increments X before evaluating it. So 5 plus 1 is 6, then evaluated to 6 after that side effect. 18. Bit set. I think it should do A because it's a bit set. A. B1 is a 4-bit bit set, and standard character output will print bit sets in binary without having, well, yeah, in binary. If it was just a straight up unsigned int, what would happen if it was just literally an unsigned int and we didn't do 0 whatever? It would say, oh, it would think if I did 10, it would see 10. And I don't think that would work. If it's all 10 and represented 10 as like, what is that? 4 bits? Because it's 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 4 is 7 and then plus, yeah. So it could be represented in 4 bits because that goes up to 15. I think that's correct. A. B1 is a 4-bit bit set. Standard character output will print bit sets in binary. Variable shadowing is when an inner variable identifier matches an outer variable within scope variables identifier, and the compiler defaults to referencing the inner when using that shared identifier. We'll say shares. Must use scope resolution operator to access the outer variable. Yeah. Okay. We are outputting x and ending the line. Okay, we have integer x, and then within a complex statement, we are... Oh. Yo? Yeah, this is some shadowing action, buddy. So it's going to... Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to pretend this is main, and then we have x here. And this is going to say 20. And then this x is deleted here. And then this is going to say 10. So it's 20, 10. C. Because variable shadowing will print the inner x first. Then inner x is destroyed at the end of its block. Then we print the only remaining x. Or, well, the only x in scope. 10. 21. Okay. 0, 1, 2. 0 space 1 space 2. So it's for I is 0. Yep, we have 0, we print 0, we increment them to 1, we print 1, we increment them, we print 2, we print 2, increment them to 3, oh, nothing. Prints 0, 1, 2. B. Prints I before incrementing, so prints 0 and through 2 because 3 will make the condition false. Because the condition will be false once incremented to 3. Break statements. Break statements. Or break keyword, break, yeah, sure. Break statements. Exit the innermost loop, resuming execution after. 23. Haven't used standard character input.fail, but I think it's the same as evaluating standard character input, which returns true if the last extraction was successful, and false otherwise. Should be the same either way. Assert calls standard halt or oops, it's abort if its condition evaluates to false at runtime. Type conversion. What does the following print? We have integer. We get a narrowing conversion. But there's no compiler error because we don't flag the narrowing conversion because we're doing copy assignment. So we get 7 for x. A. Double to int is a narrowing conversion with data loss. But copy assignment doesn't error for it. Brace initialization does. Copy initialization, I mean, I guess copy assignment, copy initialization, whatever, same shit. Copy assignment, well, initialization, well, yeah, initialization doesn't error for it. Brace initialization does. So we drop the decimal and get 7. 26. A narrowing conversion is when we convert type A to type B, or a value of type A to type B when type B can't hold all values of type A. We get data loss because we are losing value, or at least potentially losing value using const expression variables during a narrowing conversion. We may, because we may be losing value, during conversion. Doesn't flag if the type A value can be held in type B. 27. Function overloading is when the compiler determines which function overload to call. Well, is when we have unique function signatures that share the same identifier. They are unique by having different type parameters or different order parameters. The compiler will choose which overload we're calling depending on our function call. Just arguments. How much more? 30? Okay. 28. Which is a valid overloaded function pair, okay? Not this, because these are identical signatures. It doesn't care about the name. Not A. Not A. Compiler sees 2 identical signatures. B. Int and double, sure. Oh wait, hold on. Oh yeah, the return type, I don't think the return type matters. Not C either. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, not C either. Which is, so one of these isn't, huh? There's an int and a double. Int and an int. Int, and then an int and an int. Aren't B and D both okay? We just have default arguments in D. And there are 2 parameters there, so it's it looks like they're both unique. It looks like both. So if we had void do thing int x, sure, and then we'll just say X to avoid the warning. Void do thing double X, X. And then we say do thing 1. There's an exact match between the int and the end. And then if we say 1.0, exact match between the double and the end. But then if we say int x, int y is 5, and then we say x, y, and then we say 1. Oh! Oh! Well, doesn't it depend though? Because if we did 2 integers, then we say, hey, this is not an ambiguous call. This is an ambiguous call because it doesn't know if we are leaving this as default and initializing x, therefore we're calling this because this is a valid call to this, or if we are calling x. So there's no way to call x. That's the problem. So same for C. D can be valid when calling foo with 2 valid arguments, but the 1 argument foo can't be called because the 1 argument call leaves y default initialized, or well, default, what do we call it? Default argument as a default argument and initializes x. So the pair isn't fully usable. Therefore, B, because both are usable. 29. Write a function. Wait, what the fuck? Write a function that takes 2 integers and returns their sum. Hello? This is stupid. Okay. Sum 3, 4. Do something, bro! Doesn't do anything with the return value. Int sum, int A, int B. Excuse me. Alright. Return A plus B. Oh wait, it's just a function. Int sum A and B. And all it does is it returns A and B. Bro, you kidding me? Bro, it's not an order. Whatever. A loop that prints them 1 per line? For int. I mean, I guess I'll just do the shorthand. Int I 1, starting at 1. I is less than or equal to 5. Increment I. Output I and an n line. That's it. So we're saying, hey, 1 to 5, 1 per line. So we say I is 1. That's less than or equal to 5. Print 1, increment it to 2. Or well, print 1 and end the line. Now I is 2 after being incremented. 2 end the line. 3 in the line. 4 in the line. 5 is equal to 5 in the line. Increment 6. No more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Okay, it's a short little thing. Motherfucker? Can I print my answers? Okay. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why are you only the only ones that I can improve on? Okay, fuck it. Question 3, my answer was B. What was 3? Like printing an undefined variable or something? Yes. Modern compilers normally initialize to 0 in debug mode, meaning that if it's not in debug mode, it's in release mode, that it's garbage. And then you package that shit, and then you run it in release mode as a fucking packaged exe, and then you're fucked because the default damage your character does on spawn with no weapon is supposed to be 0, but in reality it's fucking 4 billion. Are you dumb? Length returns the number of characters. 5 for hello, excluding the null terminator. Really? No string, standard string method includes the null terminator. Oh, interesting. Scary. AC turned off. B. Alarms coming soon. Correct. 1, not 2. Wait, what? Bro, what? What are you talking about, bro? The alarm's coming, isn't it? My heart. If the last operation failed. Other stream errors. Oh. Bro, is it coming? Mm-hmm. Copy initialization does not. Yo, when is it coming? Oh, fuck. I have 29 more minutes. God damn. I was going to say there's no... I didn't think it took an hour and a half for all of this. Wait, dude, did you read my fucking responses? Hello? When it can't hold all the values, we may get data loss because... Hello? I just said this. This should have been represent all values, maybe. Okie doker. More please. Hard stuff. Uh-oh. Ran out of pro search. Oh no. Maybe that's why the answers were shit. Uh-oh. Man, that's so hard I can't even read it. What? What? Template type deduction? Oh no. Alright, let's find... Oh my. What the fuck is that? This and this? I don't know what that is. I'm ignoring that and I'm just saying TX. I don't know what the fuck that is. Int reference? What the fuck? What the fuck are these here for? Okay, so we say X is... Why are we copy initializing it to be 5? And then we do foo this. It should be overload. Oh, hold on. Whoa. Are you spoiling it? Oh, we're saying call 1, call 2. So what is this one doing? What is X doing? Well, X is 5. This is an integer. So, I mean, it should be a direct match here. And if we call it with 10, shouldn't they both be overload? Would either be a template? 2 calls template. An R value to an int? So if we're saying this is a reference to an integer, bro, I don't know about that. Which one violates the one definition rule? Defining inline const this guy in two CPP files. Yo? No, it's fine because it's like two CPP files and we're including a header file with the inline. We wouldn't define this explicitly in both. We would just put it in a fucking header file and bop bop. And we would do const expression. We wouldn't do const qualified only. That's fine because inline lets us do multi-definition of the same thing, so it points to the same spot, same instance. Const expression. Boom. This. Maybe? Hold on. Bro? If we have namespace void baz and it's empty in one and another, isn't this a multi-definition because it already exists? There's nothing inline about this function. So it's not like, oh, we're doing inline expansion. Isn't it both here? Feels like this violates it. Defining void bar into, I mean, and this is in global scope in two different CPP files. Isn't it the same for this too? Bro, isn't it A, B, and C? Oh, fuck. These are unnamed namespaces. God damn. Maybe I'm just real stupid. Namespace. This is unnamed namespace. Oh, motherfucker, bro. If we have this in a header file and it's included in two different spots, const expression variables have internal linkage by default. So this is actually okay. It's just that we're using two separate spots for memory. We would rather just do inline. That way, the linker finds them both, I think. And then this is an unnamed namespace, so this has an internal linkage. And then void bar, this is a public or a global function definition. And then this is cool because inline. Defining square x as x times x. Oh, isn't it 16? Because this evaluates and then square x. And I mean, I feel like this has to evaluate first. So I'm guessing 16. 3? Fuck, it's 7, huh? Wait, what? Huh? A plus 1? Oh, we're... The macro expands to a plus 1 times a plus 1. So that's 3 plus 1 times... What? Oh, wait, hold on. A plus 1 times 3. So 3 plus 3 plus 1. Oh, and the point here is we're defining... We're defining square x as... What is it defining it as? It's not defining it as x times x. It's defining it as x. Bro, I don't know. I don't like how this is explained. Why is it expanding to... So square something is being replaced with the something times the something. So in this case, oh, square something is not substituted for this something squared. So it is not this result squared. It is literally this whatever's inside it times whatever's inside it. So it is a plus 1 times a plus 1. So it is a plus 1 times a plus 1. 1 times a, 3 plus 3, 6 plus 1, 7. Weird. Invalid. Rand? I don't know what rand is, yo. I mean, I feel like it's rand. Constant expression int copy sign 10. Constant expression int y. I mean, I'm assuming this returns 2 and it's cool. Size of, I mean, this is an unsigned. So maybe this is our issue here because we're saying we're going to get an error for unsigned, but I think that's only for warnings treated as errors, maybe. So it's either unsigned signed conversions are not flagging implicitly as an error, only as a warning, or it's rand. It is, excuse me, it is rand. And the reason, oh, I should have seen. This is constant expression. We don't know if rand, oh, well, yeah, rand isn't going to give you a new thing at, how are you going to execute rand at compile time? It's a function, bro. It evaluates at runtime. Which overload is called? We're calling with a double. Oh. Neither? We're calling with a double, and a double has to be numerically converted to both. Yeah, it's neither. Good call. Yeah. You know it's ambiguous, baby. What's the value of result? Bro? Result isn't a thing. Are you talking about the result for any of these? This is returning off 3. And this is we're turning on 2. So if we turn on 0 or 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's how they count. So this is 2 because 1 shifted 0 is this guy. So yeah, 0, 1, 2. Wait, 0, 2. Oh, so no change. And then turn off 3. So it's 0, 1, 0, 0. Or hold on. Yeah, 0, 1, 0, 0. Yeah, 0, 1, 0, 0. Yes. Oh wait, hold on. This. Oh, hold on. So it's this or 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, which is, wait, isn't that no change? Yes. Oh, fucking hello. This or this, which is no change, and then turning off this guy and not this guy, which is 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, and it's keeping only the ones that are on in both. Well, any that are on in our first one stay on, except this guy, which is off now. So turns off 3. Yes. Oops. Fuck, I accidentally split. Which one has undefined behavior? Int. How are you initializing an integer with multiple values? It seems like that's, I don't even know how you do that. And then int x is that. I mean, we're not doing like int xyz something. And even then, int x is 5. Y is 5. Incremented, now it's 6. Plus 7. But for some reason, this stuff is undefined. Why is B undefined here? Modifying x twice in one expression, we can't do that. Oh, okay. Oh, and the reason is because we don't know which one is. Well, it's commutative, so it doesn't matter here. I don't think, right? Because in this case, we could say, well, yeah. I mean, maybe. So in this case, if it's 5, and this evaluates to 5, but then adds 6 incremented to 7, so it's 5 plus 7, so 12. But on the other side, it would be 5. So it'd be, this is 6 evaluating to 6 plus 6, 12. I think it's the same in both cases, actually, but can't modify it twice in the same expression. Noted. You can't do x is this, comma, x is this. It's like one statement. Or is it the expression? In one expression. Yeah, that makes sense. Constant expression int is 7. Oh, we're divided by 0. Yeah, no, sir. Okay. Just give me, we have a named namespace. And x in here, and we're printing. What does this print? NS print. And we're printing what? 20. Or, oh, 10, 20. 10, 20. Why is this code problematic? I can see how people can just sit down and read code all day instead of writing it. I understand that now. Don't do that. Because eventually you can figure out what's going on here. But then you don't know how to actually write the shit. What's problematic? 0.1f. Okay. 0.2f. Okay. If. Oh. I think this evaluates to true 100% of the time equal. I'm thinking that the precedence of equality is greater than the precedence of this. Therefore, if b is this, it's not, this is false, so it's 0, plus 0.1, which is not 0, so it's always going to say equal. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, maybe not. So maybe it is this plus this equals, okay, or is this. Then the error, I should have seen the other way. We're comparing floating points. So it's not a precedence issue. It's 0.1 plus 0.2. Those are represented in binary fractions, just like this. And uncertainty plus uncertainty is more uncertainty than this. So we're probably going to get an inequality, even though we wouldn't expect it. Epsilon-based comparisons. What the fuck? Oh, so we're saying, hey, if they're close enough. So like if it's 1, or if it's 0.3000002, which is probably how it's actually represented, and then this is 0.3, are they close enough? Yeah, as long as they're within 0.0001 of each other. And then, which debugger would most directly reveal this issue? For unsigned, oh, we're decrementing an unsigned? Yeah, that makes sense. Or for watching I, if we're simply just watching I, we're going to see I go from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 4.3 billion. I mean, watching, right? Yeah, you're just watching I and then saying, boom, you went max. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Even more. Fuck you, foo and bar. Namespace foo. Or, oh, okay, what are we doing? We're outputting bars thing, and then a value, and then an inline. Okay. Whoa, hold it. What? Oh, I can set a namespace to be the same? Huh? Namespace bar is foo. Oh, and then I'm using bar value. So I mean, I'm guessing that's 42.99. Yeah, cool. So we have const int value. Oh. The problem here is that there's no namespace. Well, regardless, it'd still be global scope. But this guy has. Oh, hold on. This guy has internal linkage though, right? This header is included in 2 different CPP files. And it's a const guy, so it has internal linkage. And there are 2 because we don't have an inline. Right? Yes. Internal linkage. Makes sense. What will this code print? Print refer. I don't like studying like this. I like having to type this stuff out. Alright, that's cool. Let me take the dogs out. I'll do better stuff tomorrow. I don't know why the answers are so dang shit today, but cool.